Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm excited because I'm making this game. And also, I thought of some stuff to do because this is gonna be awesome. Like, okay, allow me to illustrate straight up. First thing, illustrations. I know it's your favorite part. Let's see. Okay, I'd been thinking about how here's what we've got. All right, let's say okay, we got this guy and this guy. This is okay. So here's our dude. Let's say here's our dude. I actually have my tablet plugged in now. I could probably use that, but I won't. All right, there we go. Oh, there's our dude. Here's a floor. All right, this is a floor, and this is a wall. And what I was doing was I actually have a variable called level node type that indicates, this node says I'm a floor, and this node says I'm a wall. And what I was going to do is I was going to have it be like, there'd be like nodes like this. And this node here would say like, I'm slanty. And I've decided not to do that. And here's why. I can actually make it so that those slanty walls behave the same as the regular floors, but like different. Let me explain that better. Okay. What I was going to do is I was going to make it so that let me see. There we go. I was going to make it so that with these sorts of slanty bits, when the angle of attack, when the grade of the slant is great enough, it would make it so you slide down those sorts of slanty bits. I was going to do this, but actually I'm going to be a completely different type, and then blah blah blah. It doesn't matter actually, because what I can do is I can just say, no matter what, if it's a floor and not a wall, at least, then it should test to see if it's slanty enough. And if it's slanty enough, then I could have variables that say, how much to make you slide, and that sort of thing. Which means I need variables. I need more variables. I need to go in here and fix those up with nice little variables. Really, I've been putting a lot of things into Chara, which is really the player, but which I need to fix that too, because really there might be more than one character in the game, so I should probably change that. But that's here nor there for now. What I'm talking about now is I need to fix up, for one thing, in theory, some of these things might actually be, well, I can leave those as per character as far as that, but really it's the game that ought to be keeping track of a lot of that stuff. You know what, we're gonna forget about that for now, and I'll fix that later, like off. You won't see me do that, because that's boring. We're gonna worry about this here. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have gravity. Oh, boo, that's that one. Is gonna go pushing you down when you're, it's gonna be pulling you toward the earth as you're standing on these slanty bits, because they're just too slanty to stand on. So from a standstill, you'll start moving. But what I want it to be is based on the angle. So like such that once you reach, I have to figure out what angle it is. At what angle it is you start to slide, and what the maximum amount of push you get is. So I'm going to call that like slide angle. We're going to say, let's say for now 45 degrees. And we're going to say slide speed. And we're going to say, I don't know, 10. That's pretty fast. And what it's going to do is once you're at 45, it'll start to actually make you slide. And it'll basically, what it'll do is it'll just divide by, it'll take the angle that you're at, subtract out the slide angle, and divide that by 90 minus the slide angle. So you end up with, if it's perfect, obviously if it's a wall, it doesn't matter, but if it's, nearing wall-like, if it's that slanty, you'll slide down really fast. And if you, but if it's less slanty, if it's closer to the 45, won't really affect you very much. I'm thinking about I'm probably actually going to lower that in the end, but, well, we could lower it for now. Well, I'll just leave it. We'll set it 35. I don't know, why not? Kind of arbitrary. Anyway, doesn't matter. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say, okay, we already have things that check what node you're on. Let me fix a couple of things first. Come to think of it, I just remembered something important. If you were paying any attention last time, if I can find this, you might have noticed that I did something kinda dumb. I'd expected to fix it at the time. Oh, here it is. I don't actually have equivalent code for for the other kind of wall, for the opposite of this. It only does it for walls going away. That one, this kind of wall. So I need to fix that really quick too. Boop, 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 boop. There. And then I need to flip all these around. Like that. Alright. So now it has, it's all flipped around for going the other way, in theory anyway. So we could test that out, but we're not going to just yet. I'm going to make a bigger level later, possibly within this video. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and worry about the slippery, slidey bit that I was just talking about before. Okay. So, what this is saying, blah blah blah, doesn't really matter just yet. Okay, it needs to go in after, I guess it needs to go, where it needs to go in is after all this. This is where you're, snapping to the ground. You're still going to snap to the slidey bits too. Which kind of, it might be a problem. I might change it so that it doesn't snap if it's like over a certain angle, so that it's, you know, if it's closer to a wall, maybe, you know, if it's just barely there, you know, like that or whatever, maybe you'll fall off instead of sliding down it. I'm not sure. For now, we're not going to worry about that. That's a completely different problem. What we're going to worry about is, I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I guess I could put it after this. Or before. Well, it depends then, doesn't it? Oh well, let's not worry about that for now. I might move it around in the end, but... Okay, so so you're trying to move, alright? So it has to go after this at the very least, where your character is on the ground and trying to move. Alright? So, we have to actually change it so that... Oh wait, but then... This is where your character actually moves, isn't it? Yeah, so it does have to go after that, doesn't it? Alright. So, your character has tried to move in some direction. Doop-de-doo. So let's say he's, you know, standing on this slant and he's trying to move in this direction. Then it's going to actually subtract off however much the slant affects it. Now, obviously, this only matters if on ground and now we have to actually be able to figure out the slant of the two walls. So it actually depends whether or not which side is bigger. So what we have to do is we have to say, we're assuming, you know, okay, so you're, first off, we know you're on the ground. That's all we know so far. And then what we have to figure out is whether or not what you're standing on is slanty enough to warrant this bit of code. So what we have to say is, if the node you're on is bigger than the next node, so if that one's higher up, we need to do the code to actually figure out the angle of that, which I don't actually know what I would do there. Let me think about that for a minute. I do have in GameMaker, we have computing things, real valued functions. You can do all this stuff. You can do, you know, where is it? Like sine, cosine, tangent, all that fun stuff. But we can actually, we could use something else. Here it is. Point direction. If we actually use point direction, we can get the angle, and then since we know what quadrant it's ending up in, because we know which one's higher up, we can guarantee that it's always going to, you know, be a certain thing. So I know that this is going to be, if I'm pointing in this direction, what we're going to get is 90 to 180. So I can actually just do this. And this is a lot simpler than anything else because I would have had to have done maths. I don't like doing maths. So we're just going to do this. Node X, and we're just going to go ahead and go through all of this and put in the nodes going from this side to this side, since that's what we're assuming, since we know that that's the bigger one. And we'll get that angle right. And what we actually need to do here is, I need another variable. So we'll say D for direction. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to say this. There. Now, we also need to do for the other way. And it's just a copy and a paste and a hop, skip, and jump. Oops. Just move your little rump. And there you go. Actually, I have to switch around. Really quick. Oh, you get to see this part. Oh, no pausing for you. Because I don't feel like it. Bam. And that doesn't need the minus 90. There you go. Then we say if D is greater than the slide angle, so if that angle is, if the grade of that what do you call that, you know, the slant, if the grade of it is big enough, then we're going to be doing all this other stuff. And all we're going to do is we're going to basically say it's going to be percentage, this, so that, you know, so that, well, you know, if it were set to, you know, so that it was 90, then 45 would be 50%, but obviously we're not setting it to that. What it is going to be is, it's going to actually take X. But that's the thing, it's actually different depending on which one's bigger, isn't it? So maybe we don't need to do all that stuff. Well, yeah, it is. It's different depending on which way it's going, isn't it? And nah. Alright, well then we don't need to, yeah, we can do this. If that's greater than slide angle. There we go. So much simpler. Sorta. If that's greater than slide angle. There. And if it's, because that's, obviously you don't want him sliding up a, up that incline, you want him to slide down that incline, and if it's this way, you want him to slide down that way, so what we're gonna do is, and we actually have to, we're gonna have to do the, we already know he's on the ground, so we'll always just snap him to the ground again. Otherwise he'll float, and you won't be able to jump, and that would suck. Okay. X. So this is the one where the node he's on is higher up, so he's going right, so we have to add to it. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to say slide angle minus. Oh wait, we have to actually get that number still anyway, don't we? Oh my, so we do have to do this. Oh, aren't you just love me going back and forth on things? Here we go. Control X, Control V, D. There. X plus equals. So we have D divided by, that's the angle. D actually minus the slide angle, so that if it's at the very minimum, it'll be 1. We're dividing that by 90 minus slide angle, so that the maximum is at the well 90 degrees, and we're adding, and we're going to multiply all that by boop boop. We're going to multiply all that by slide speed. There. Oh, and then we have to do this actually. And we might have made that into a script, since we're going to use it more than once now. But I might do that later. Not that it matters anyway. We do the same thing up here. up high. Actually down low, sorry. Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Oh! Whoa! Stuff doesn't work again on the left. What did I do here? What? This is different. This is different. I don't get it. I'm scared. I know why, actually. I need to... This is all I need to do. There. I hadn't fixed that yet. Okay, anyway. Copy paste. Done. So now we have all that stuff in the right place. And if you actually so as you're sliding, you'll actually be able to, pass the next node instead of not, which would kind of suck. Actually, come to think of it, that could be interesting. Well, because you might be pressing left, and you might end up pressing right. I don't know, we'll see. So, now that I've got all that done, I need to adjust my nodes to check out if it actually works. So we'll make a much more steep level. And, I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that. I'll get back to you on that. Whoops! I changed a thing and now it doesn't work. Oh, right, I know why. We already know you're on the ground, so this doesn't matter. Done. That's all it was. Wait, was that the right place? No, it wasn't. Oops. It was down here. Ugh. Yes. We already know you're on the ground. This only works if you're still on the ground. Okay. Anyway. And again. Oh, what's this one saying? How can that be a negative array index? Oh, I know. This must be from changing that other thing. This is why I should not change more than one thing at once, because I get confused. This is from this bit, isn't it? It has to be. Why was it saying negative array index? Let's try that again. Let's just test and see exactly what we're talking about here. We know it's on the step event. Line 138. Here we are. Oh, but that was the part that worked before. Might have something to do with what I added then up here. It was saying that this was a negative array index though, which must mean that I'm sliding backwards or something and it's getting a negative array index. Let's check if that's the problem, because if it is, then there's more problems with this than I thought. Debugging. Yep. Oh wow, that's interesting. Wonder why that happens. I changed too much stuff apparently. back out because I'd taken it out because I'd trying to fix something else. Oh my, that should fix that. Okay. Oh my. This is just an exciting episode. And it's nothing but awful. I actually meant to increase the frame rate again too, because it was still shit. Still shit. Oh well. Well, anyway, well, let's see. Okay, so let's try to figure. Let's step through this code, and by step through it, I mean stare at it. Okay, your guy is on the ground. We know that much, because that's kind of important to this part of the code. It has to actually happen on the ground. And then the Y of this guy is bigger, and that's actually, this is the case for that. Yeah, that node, the very first node, the Y is bigger. For the guy on the left as opposed to the right. So what it's going to do is it's going to get direction from this node to this node, and it's going to subtract 90. And it's going to say if that is bigger than slide angle, the angle at which you slide, then it's going to increase your x, move you to the right in theory. D minus slide angle. Because it should get a number from 90 to 180. So it should, yeah, so it should subtract out 90 and make that from 0 to 90. And then you'll end up with the direction, and subtracting out the slide angle, so that slide angle is 0. So that at the slide angle you get 0, and at 90 you get 100%. And you multiply that by the slide speed, which I believe is a positive number, so you shouldn't get a negative, so you shouldn't be moving left, so you shouldn't, if not node, check right. Nope. Yeah, no, that's right. That should all be working. I don't really get why that wouldn't work. It's making it seem, it's what it seems like it's doing, it's making it slide to the left, like super fast. Maybe I was wrong about that first one. Maybe it's slanted the other way. Nope, it's slanted. See, you're sliding to the left. Yeah, like infinitely. Even though it's slanted this way, and it should be moving you this way. Well, maybe the first problem is that I've actually got it backwards than what I thought. Now, this is one of those things where I'm out of time practically, and I'm gonna have to be able to actually fix this within a couple of minutes. I don't think I can. Might have to, what I'd usually do, like I said, stop and then try to figure it out and then come back and fix it. So I guess that's probably what I'm going to do. But I've got a few minutes, so let me try to work on this really quick. Okay. So this is the situation. I know that, right? Because the level node has to. The level node is the node before the one the one before where the character is. Level node plus 1 is the one after where the character is. So it should get the direction going from the next node to the previous node. Let's get it. Let's do some debugging like this. We'll do show message, and this will pause the game and give me a message that will say what D is. Thusly. Thusify. Come on. Okay. It didn't even... Oh, so that's interesting. Okay, so now we know for a fact that it's actually doing it the opposite of what it ought to be. Because it's gotta be... this is the only thing that could possibly be causing that. So let's check what the D is over here, since it's obviously going over there. $359.1. That's not right. And that's why that explains why it's moving you so quickly, and why it's moving you in that direction. For whatever reason, it's ended up over here instead of over here like I expected it to. So let's try this. Let's show us this guy, because he's our troublemaker. And we'll do the same thing. We'll also have it show a message with the next guy really quick. So let's see what I get out of that. And this is going to be one of those infinite ones until I get to the error. 380, 385. Interesting. Oh! Gah! Oh, I hope. Oh, I bet you've already figured this one out. Oh, see, this is one of those things. Like I said, I've said this before. Remember where the origin is? It's 00 is at the top left of the screen. Something I have to try to remind myself. I have to remind myself constantly. Now I wish I could take back the last like 10 minutes of this video. Let's see. Okay, I just got it backwards. That's all. It's no big deal. Don't think about it too hard. It's backwards. Okay. Anyway, this didn't work either. I ended up with, for some reason, the opposite of what I expected. I still want to know what that's going to give me then. So let's forget about the fact that it went the wrong way because of me being dumb. Although that might actually make sense. Okay, it's getting a 380. For some reason it's changing, even though it should be the same. Interesting. Well, he's sliding correctly, actually, technically. Alright, I'm gonna have to end this madness. It's called S for side scroll. There we go. It's the only way to get out of it once you got those infinite messages, unless you can press the X in the, like, press enter to close it, close the message, and press the X before it comes back up with a new one. Subscribe! Subscribe if you like stupid bugs. Like if you like pop-up messages. I don't know. The video's over. Sorry. Next time I'm gonna have this. I got this one licked. You'll see. I figured everything out just now. So it's all in my head. It's like it's a detective novel, and you're gonna turn the page. And, you know, tomorrow you're gonna see what I was thinking. You're gonna Sherlock Holmes over here is gonna lay it on you. Bye.